This episode of LeapTV is dedicated to the Canadian Women's Foundation, Canada's only national public foundation that is dedicated to improving the lives of women and girls. Coming up on LeapTV, how to give your ideal client a face, how to not put yourself at the bottom of the totem pole, and this week's performance tip, weekly implementation time. I'm Isabel Mercier, and this is the show that shows you that small, intentional, and consistent actions lead to massive results. Are you crystal clear as to who your ideal client is? And I mean crystal clear. If you're a chiropractor and you think that anyone with a spine is your ideal client, you are shooting yourself in the foot. I used to go to a BNI meeting years ago, and there was a chiropractor there, and that's what he used to say. My ideal client this week is anyone with a spine. And of course he got giggles, and a lot of people loved that. But was it efficient for him? Did he get referrals? Did he get people to take action? Very rarely, actually. So I went to see him after one of the meetings, and I said, "Tell me what you love to treat. What do you see your patients for most often?" And he said, "I love to treat whiplash." So I said to him, "Humor me, next week, say that. Say that you're looking for people that have experienced whiplash in the last 3 years, for example, to widen the realm." So he tried that the week after, and he got more than 10 great referrals that week. So the key here is to not speak to the entire jungle. If you want to speak to lions and attract lions, then speak directly to the lions, and perhaps giraffes and elephants are going to follow, which would be a great bonus. But don't speak to the entire jungle wanting one specific thing, or worse, generic things, because then no one's listening. What are the benefits of being clear in speaking to your target market? Well, being clear gets people to hear your message, and it gets people to take action. Take LeapTV, for example. If we said to you, our ideal target market is anyone that owns a business, which could possibly be true, but then you wouldn't take action in that because you'd think, well, that's anyone I know, really. But if I said to you, we are targeting people solopreneurs and entrepreneurs that have up to 12 employees. We're targeting people that are overworked and under-rewarded. Perhaps also we're targeting people who are wanting to become more efficient, more profitable. People that maybe want to bridge and finally reach that $1 million mark. Now you'd be thinking about specific people to actually probably refer to the show. So once you know who your ideal client is, the trick is to give that ideal client a face. Think of someone you know that fits that description. Next time you write a newsletter, an email, an ad, any communication piece for that matter, write it thinking of this person in particular. They will hear you and take action a lot more. So the lesson here is, don't draft a generic message to the entire jungle. Craft a specific message speaking to the lions of the jungle. And other elephants and giraffe might actually, as a bonus, want in on the action. Now, Leapers, it's time to get involved. I want to hear about what you do and who your ideal client is. Let me know by simply adding your comment below this video at leaptv.com. Now, this is a golden opportunity. It's a golden opportunity for you to promote your business and also to attract more traffic to your website. So take advantage of it. Now, before we move on with the show, I would love to tell you a little bit more about a great organization that is near and dear to my heart, Canadian Women's Foundation. They have this great new organization called Women Moving Women. In fact, it's an amazing movement. They are dedicated to helping women get out of poverty. Did you know that 1 in 7 women lives in poverty in Canada? And did you know that when women live in poverty, so do their children? So head on over to womenmovingwomen.ca to learn more about how you can join me in helping erase poverty in Canada. It's a small investment that you will never regret making. This week's question is from Tammy Robbins from Montreal, Quebec. Tammy writes, "Wow, Isabel, thanks for an awesome show. I love the way you make everything that is usually complicated super simple and doable. Like you, I have all these great ideas to develop new products and services to create opportunities for passive income, but never really get the time for those important but not urgent projects, as you would call them. Help!" Tammy, great to hear from you. And yes, awesome question. And believe me, you're not the only one on that one. Why do your projects always end up at the bottom of the totem pole? The answer is very simple. First, you and only you have to take the bull by the horns, because you will never find an extra 20 hours in your back pocket. That'll never happen. And if it did happen, you would fill it up with other stuff as well. So, number one is you need to actually learn to book yourself as your own client, as your own ideal client. Number two is you need to respect that time like you would respect time with a client. I am sure that you would never miss a client deadline, or you never would blow off a client meeting. Yet, you blow off yours all the time. 3, give your project strict deadlines and strict accountabilities. We have a production board here at LeapZone where we have more projects of LeapZone on our production board than client projects. They have the same deadlines, they have the same amount of importance, and that's why we can get so much done. And finally, the kicker is to learn to say no. Because when you're very clear about where you're going and you know your accountabilities, it's going to be a little bit easier to say no. But saying no is never easy. So it's the most important step out of all of that to really get you working on your own projects. Now, Camille, what does that mean for you and for any leaper out there for that matter? Number one, pick one project that would spark you the most, because it's important to work on projects that spark you, first of all. It's going to be much easier to get them done. Number two is give yourself a reasonable deadline and then shrink the deadline a little bit. It is proven that the less amount of time you take to do something, the more momentum you gain and the simpler you keep it. And 3, pre-book a block of time weekly to work on your own projects. Remember that your goal is to respect yourself as you would respect your ideal client. Do you have a burning question about branding, marketing, or anything about business for that matter? Now is your chance to get some free and innovative advice. All you got to do is click on the Ask Isabel button at LeapTV.com. In return for asking a question, Camille wins a 2-month free subscription to MyLeapTools.com, a vital business resource with a constantly growing collection of tips, tools, and must-know winning strategies to help entrepreneurs like you perform like never before. This week's performance tip is about weekly implementation time. Every week, I have a dedicated block of time that allows me to work on my business as opposed to in my business. Why is it important to have a weekly implementation time? Well, first of all, it's going to give you the time that you're needing to work on some of your own projects. It will also give you a lot of momentum for your own projects. Try it out as your leap of the week. Try this. Start planning at least 3 hours a week to work on your business. A lot of you would ask, what would I do in that time? Well, that would be a great time to review, tweak your proposal, for example, or create one for that matter. It would also be a great time to implement what you learn on LeapTV, for example. Even just time to think and ponder is key. Make that time worth $1 million for your business, and I tell you, I promise you, it will. Now, if you've liked this week's tip, chances are you would love MyLeapTools.com. Check it out for more tips and tools like this one. Leapers and success seekers, you know who you are. Here is a killer opportunity that you will not want to miss. Are you ready for breakthrough results? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you ready to make this year the best year yet? This opportunity is for you. We are currently accepting applications to be a part of our Spark Mastermind style coaching group. Just click on the Spark button at LeapTV.com for more information as to how you can apply to secure your spot, because space is extremely limited. That's it for this week's show. Remember that everything you've learned here today will do absolutely nothing for you, unless, of course, you implement it. So take action on what you've learned today, and remember that it's much, much easier to do it than to dwell on it. If you want my help with a one-on-one personalized consultation to help your business grow faster, all you got to do is click on the Isabel On Demand button at LeapTV.com. Now, don't forget to comment on this week's show. We want to hear your thoughts. I'm Isabel Mercier, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Join me again next week for other valuable branding lessons, as well as must-have business resources to help you perform like never before. See you next week. This is a golden... Oh, I had to swallow. I know. Okay,
Can we take it from the top?
Yeah, no, it's all good.
And breathing is okay.
Breathing is okay. I feel like I swallow awkwardly. Okay. Super simple and doable. Like you, I have all these great ideas. God, you're gorgeous. Like you, I have all these great ideas.